खोजो।
It's an amazing festival. It connects people from different parts of the country.
Everyone should come here and enjoy.
खोजो, खोजो, खोजो।
I think this is one of the opportunity for youngsters, for the children from the country who are in Delhi.
खोजो, खोजो।
Hello, namaste, and welcome to this session of Z Earth. And I'm very happy to be back here again with all of you, and on a topic which is actually considered very serious, but is very, very interesting. There are a lot of small nuances in this subject. It is the subject of mathematics. Now, I want to tell you one very small, interesting bit, which will trigger a major thought in all of you. Just let us look at counting or numbers. Okay. Now, if you have 5 counts of anything, the count is always 5. But this 5 can be said in different languages in different ways. तो जब किसी चीज की गिनती करते हैं तो ये गिनती बस वही रहती है, लेकिन अलग अलग भाषाओं में इसको अलग अलग तरीके से लोग इसको कहते हैं, कहते नहीं बल्कि लिखते भी हैं। जैसे कि आप अगर 24 नंबर 24 को आप लेते हो तो अभी अंग्रेजी में हम इसे 24 कहते हैं, मतलब 20 पहले फिर 4 बाद में 4। लेकिन इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में अगर आप इसको देखते हो तो इसको आप संस्कृत में फॉर एग्जाम्पल 28 लेंगे तो इट विल बी अष्टाविंशति, 8 पहले आता है फिर विंशति यानी कि 20 बाद में आता है। और इवन इन एंशियंट इंग्लिश अभी 24 कहते हैं, लेकिन बहुत पहले पुराने में इसको 4 and 20 कहते थे। या सॉन्ग भी है सिंग अ सॉन्ग ऑफ सिक्सपेंस, उसमें 4 and 20 ब्लैक बर्ड्स कहते हैं। कोई भी भाषा आप लेंगे तो इसको 24 ऐसे कहते हैं। लेकिन इंटरेस्टिंग ये भी है कि साउथ इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में इसको 20 पहले और फिर बाद में 4 कहते हैं। जैसे तमिल में इरवत्ती नाल, इरवद मीन्स 20, नाल 4। कन्नड़ा में भी इप्पत नाल्कू, नाल्कू यानी कि 4, इप्पत, तो पहले 20 को डालते हैं। तो ऑल साउथ इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में ऐसे करते हैं। यही तरीका है जापान, चाइना, फिर अरब देशों में भी यही है, जो कहते हैं फॉर एग्जाम्पल 24 को अरबा व इशरून, ये है दिस इज दी संस्कृत वे। लेकिन अरेबिक, संस्कृत, फिर यूरोपियन लैंग्वेजेस अगर आप देखेंगे तो जर्मन में भी इसको फियर उन ज्वांसिक यानी कि 4 और 20 ऐसे बोलते हैं, और लिखते भी ऐसे ही थे। लिखते आज 24 लिखते हैं, लेकिन पुराने जमाने में वैसे लिखते थे, इंडिया में एटलीस्ट। तो संस्कृत में लोग राइट टू लेफ्ट लिखते थे, तो नंबर 24 को 4-2 लिखते थे, और गिनती भी ऐसी होती थी। तो तरीका, गिनती का तरीका भी अलग होता था। एंड दिस इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम आज जैसे हम करते हैं। आज हम राइट मोस्ट डिजिट्स को पहले ऐड करते हैं, फिर कैरी, बोरो सब करते हैं। तो इंटरेस्टिंग टेक्निक्स पहले कोई अलग तरीके का भी था जो इंडिया में बहुत पॉपुलर था, और ये कैसे गया और ऐसे उलट के कैसे आया, दिस इज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी। हम दूसरे दिन आपको विस्तारित रूप से ये सुनाएंगे। आज हम आपको हमारे कलीग से मिलवाएंगे, श्रीपति जी, जो आपको ये टेक्निक्स जो पुराने इंडियन मैथ्स के थे, इसको वो आपको अच्छे से बताएंगे इजी स्टेप्स से। तो श्रीपति जी से हम ये जरा आज सीखेंगे।
Namaskar, namaste everybody. First of all, I would like to thank Bharat Gyan team and the Z News team for giving me this opportunity. Studying Sanskrit and maths is a hobby for me, and I do a fair bit of study of both, and there is a nice overlap. और पुराने ज़माने में बहुत सारे मैथमेटिक्स इंडिया में संस्कृत में लिखा गया था, तो मेरा हॉबी है तो इन सब पढ़ना। और कभी कभी मैं बच्चों के लिए वर्कशॉप वगैरह करता हूँ आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग की तरफ से एज अ वॉलंटियर. Today I am here to talk to you, like Hema ji said, about some interesting techniques. So I'll share my screen and I'll walk you through a few methods today, and then we will go from there. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go back, rewind and understand कि मैथमेटिक्स क्यों डेवलप हुआ था. शुरू में डेवलप हुआ था फॉर ट्रेड एंड एक्सचेंज ऑफ गुड्स. पीपल वांटेड टू एक्सचेंज एंड देन फॉर एक्सचेंजिंग you need a value so that people understand what is given and what is taken, right, in exchange. So that was the primary reason why people started counting, and then hence numbers were invented in different civilizations. Then there was also day-to-day phenomena. Subah hoti hai, raat hoti hai, then seasons keep changing. There are all this day-to-day phenomena, and some sort of counting is involved in understanding day-to-day phenomena. Sunrise happens at a particular time, sunset happens at a particular time, seasons change at a particular time, and everything people realized that there was some way we can observe and represent them using numbers and counting. That was the second reason why mathematics started developing. And then slowly people also realized that the entire phenomenon in the universe could potentially be expressed in terms of mathematics. So mathematics started becoming an abstract sort of science of reasoning and logic, apart from just what started off as a counting. शुरू में जो counting के लिए चालू हुआ था वो धीरे धीरे develop होके then people started applying for understanding how the universe operates and various phenomena we see in the universe. So this is how mathematics developed. And in all civilizations, there was some early development of mathematics. And our civilization in India, also there was a lot of development, especially in Sanskrit. There was a lot of development in mathematics, and there were so many books written in mathematics in Sanskrit in the early part of in the early part of this millennium. Now there were some fundamental contributions कि 0 और 1 ऐसे लिखते हैं और उल्टा लिखते हैं तो उसका नंबर, उसका वैल्यू 10 हो जाता है. कभी आपने सोचा है कि एक ही 0 और 1 दो तरीके से लिखेंगे तो वैल्यू क्यों अलग होता है? Why is it so different? Now, so as Hema ji said, the system of writing numbers one next to each other, and also counting the value from right to left or left to right originated in India. In a way, the biggest contribution Indian mathematicians of the past have done to the world of science is the place value system. जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं there is a units place, then there is a tens place, there is a hundreds place, etc. Whether those places go from right to left or from left to right, like Hema ji referred to in the olden system, the concept of writing numbers next to each other and each place having a particular value, that originated in India. Now that is the biggest contribution, fundamental contribution that India has made to the world of science. Now imagine without a counting system, how much development can you make in science? Anything you touch in science, you should be able to count. Similarly, the numerals also were first published in India from 0 to 9, and then they traveled elsewhere, and then they came back, right? Now, without a place value system, for example, some of us are introduced to the Roman numeral system, right? That is how you write 26 and 115 in Roman numerals. If you were to multiply those two, imagine how easy or difficult it would be. Can you develop a method to multiply numbers expressed like that? It's very difficult to do that. It's next to impossible to multiply numbers when written like that. And hence, the place value, again, we come back to the place value system. To be able to do any...
Ji, excuse me, do you want to show us your slide?
You're not seeing the slides, is it?
No, we are not seeing it. Can you share so that we can understand it more?
I thought I was sharing. Can you see now?
No, not yet. You may have to start. Yeah, I think it's beginning to. Yes, that's fine. Yes, perfect.
Okay. So I was saying, numbers when, for example, expressed in Roman numerals, that is how you would write 26 and 115 in Roman numerals. If you have to do a mathematical operation on them, it's very difficult to write a process, right? You cannot write a process how to multiply, add, or divide numbers that are expressed like that. And hence, the place value system, which originated in India, where you write digits one next to the other, and each place has a certain value, which is the foundation of a number system, how numbers are expressed and calculated. Now, without the place value system, you cannot calculate. ये place value system ही नहीं है, तो then तो calculation करना तो almost impossible ही है. And then there are variety of ways. Now, if we understand the place value system, if we get a thorough understanding of what the place value system means, what does it mean to have a digit in the units place to the tens place to the hundreds place, and how then the numbers work together, then you can design numerous ways to do the same calculation. And that's what our Indian mathematicians of the past have done, whether it is a mathematician like Aryabhatta or Bhaskaracharya or Brahmagupta. Now all these mathematicians have given different ways to do different kinds of calculation. And in those days, they did very complex calculations because there was a lot of interest in astronomy and to calculate how many days Earth takes to go around the sun. Now those type of things were calculated by hand without computers and calculators. So they devised a lot of ways to do calculations. And to do calculations, you need to be having a very good understanding of the place value system. So let's see a few examples as to how we can develop a thorough understanding of the place value system, and some examples of the techniques of the of the old Indian masters of mathematics, right? The first one we will see is a complement. Now a complement, as the name suggests, complements something. It completes something, right? So two numbers that add to numbers like 10, 100, 1000, we call them complements. Now you can also imagine them as best friends. When two numbers, 2 and 8, for example, they add to 10, so you can call them complements. Similarly, 25 and 75 add to 100, so they are complements. Bigger numbers, 150 and 850, add to 1000. So any two numbers that add to 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, we call them complements. Now, if I want to find the complement of 45, for example, which means I have to do 100 minus 45. Now, typically, I would then use the cross-out method. I would have learned in subtraction in the school, and then get the answer as 55. So I would cross out the 1, that becomes 0. Then I carry forward 1 to the next place. It becomes 10. I make it 9, and then I get 10 at the end, right? So that is how I subtract. Similarly, if I want complement of 456, I would do a similar process. If you strike out the 1s and 9s, the 10s, it will become 9, 9, and 10. And then I should do the subtraction, right? 10 minus 6, 9 minus 5, and 9 minus 4. Now, if you notice, there is a pattern. When you subtract a number from 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, etc. And the pattern is, you subtract all the digits from 9 from the left, and the last digit on the right, you subtract from 10. That is what we saw in the previous example as well, right? Sorry. That is what we saw in this example as well. On the left, we are subtracting from 9, and in the right, we are subtracting from 10. So that we can remember that as a step to subtract all digits from 9 and the last digit from 10. And I can use that to easily calculate a complement of a given number. So if I want to find complement of 23, I subtract all the digits from the left from 9, and the last digit on the right I subtract from 10. So that gives me 9 minus 2 and 10 minus 3, 77. Another number, 146, which means I am actually subtracting 1000 minus 146. I can do the subtraction from left to right. If you're noticing, I do 9 minus 1, 9 minus 4, and 10 minus 6. That gives me 854. One more example, If I want the complement of a bigger number, which means I'm subtracting 14,297 from 100,000 or 1 lakh. Again, instead of doing all the crossing out, I can simply remember the rule is all the digits from the left from 9, the last digit from 10. So I can easily write down the answer without having to worry about striking and carry forwards, right? With some practice, I don't even have to write all the steps. Just by looking at a number, I should be able to say what is the complement. That is the subtraction from 1 followed by the number of zeros as the same number of digits. And by just by looking at this number, I will be able to calculate the complement. So it's a simple one example of how one kind of subtraction we can make very easy by observing a pattern. And this is what the Indian masters of the past did. They observed patterns in the calculations and devised easier processes so that you can just remember it very easily and use it. Now I find a very practical example for this. For example, I go to a shop and I buy some candies and it costs me 12 rupees and 70 paise. I have a 100 rupee note in my pocket. I give 100 rupee note to the shopkeeper. How much should I expect back from the shopkeeper? An example of how I can use all from 9, last from 10 rule. So in this case, I am subtracting 12 rupees 70 paise from 100. So I apply the rule all from 9, last from 10. So I start from the left. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 2 is 7. Then 10 minus 7 is 3. That's the last digit. And then there is a 0 in the end. I add back the 0. So I get 87 rupees and 30 back from the shopkeeper. So without having to think too much, by applying this rule, we should be able to do calculations like this very easily. Now this was then passed on to the students in a simple sutra, in a simple rule. In Sanskritam, we call the rules as sutras. And that sutra for this is Nikilam Navataha Charatam Charamam Dashataha, which means all from 9, last from 10. A lot of Indian knowledge, not only mathematics, but in a variety of subjects, in Sanskrit especially, was passed through the generations through this sutra method. So where they encapsulated the knowledge in a small sutra, which is easy to remember and pass to the next student. So a sutra has some characteristics. So a sutra has 6 characteristics. It is of minimal syllables. As you can see, Nikhilam Navataha Charamam Dashataha. It's expressed in a very succinct statement. छोटा सा statement है. कोई confusion नहीं रहना चाहिए. No confusion at all. It very clearly says all the digits you subtract from 9, last digit you subtract from 10. And it's in summary form. It's in a short capsule which can be carried anywhere. It's portable, and it's universally applicable. Now you can apply to any subtraction where you are subtracting numbers from 10, 100, 1000, etc. Not only in the decimal notation system, but in any number system you can apply this rule. So it's universally applicable. No errors, because the calculation process is very simple. Subtracting from 9 and 10 is very easy. I am not carrying forward and try in the process making any errors. And the rule has no repetition of words. If you notice, the sutra all from 9, last from 10 has no repetition of any unnecessary words in between. So this is a sutra, and all of us who are science students, whether physical sciences or social sciences, we are all in the hunt for new theories and new formulae, and what best encapsulates the principle of what a formula or a theory should be, rather and apart from a sutra. So this is how even mathematics was done in the old age. This is how, like Nikhilam Navataha Charamam Dashataha, they encapsulated mathematical techniques in small sutras, and it was easy to remember, and students would learn them and pass them to the next generation. So this is one example. So today we had time only to go through one technique. Tomorrow we have another session at the same time, and we will look at a few more sutras and their application in calculations. And we also have these videos on YouTube on Bharat Gyan website, where we are uploading a lot of techniques from Indian mathematics. You may please go there and read them, listen to them as well. With this, I'll hand over back to Hema ji.
Thank you, Shripati ji. That was very interesting. I love this sutra and I love this technique. And that is what got me hooked into the Indian mathematics. But very interesting, आपने ये देखा होगा कि इन्होंने जो बताया कॉम्प्लीमेंट और बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स, और एक और शब्द इन्होंने यूज किया बेस, तो पूरक, जब ये दोनों कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स जो साथ में जाते हैं तभी वो पूरा बनता है, पूरक, इसीलिए उनका नाम बना। और ये कॉन्सेप्ट हमारे इंडियन थॉट में बहुत डीप से है। ये आप ये इसको अर्धनारी के रूप में भी देखेंगे तो शिव और पार्वती का जो रूप है अर्धनारी, इसमें दोनों कॉम्प्लीमेंट हाफ जब जुड़ते हैं तो ये एक पूरक, एक कंप्लीटनेस, और ये कॉस्मोस भी ऐसे ही है। तो दिस अ ब्यूटीफुल थिंग दैट श्रीपति जी ब्रॉट आउट फॉर अस टू स्टार्ट ऑफ, और कल हम और देखेंगे, अगले सेशन में और देखेंगे। थैंक यू, नमस्ते।
Thank you. Namaste.